Everybody, today is quite an exciting day, not just for me, but for Laura as well. Guys, Laura has organised a supercar festival at work. It's something she's very, very good at, and I've been invited to go down and drive something rather special. It's something I've never driven before, so I'm a bit nervous, but very excited. First of all, I need to sort these two boys out, because, all right, mate, people haven't met you yet, have they? No, sit. Brew, sit. Good boy. There's a video coming on that as well. And also I need to wash my car before we go because I cannot turn up to a supercar festival with my car in the state it's in. So I'm already late. Let's go. Now, I've got to admit, guys, I absolutely love this supercar festival. This is the same supercar festival that I went to last year that Laura organised, where I ended up buying this car. And it wasn't even on the radar to buy this car. I'm hoping that doesn't happen this year because I can't afford to buy anything else. Weddings aren't cheap. Also, Laura sent me this. That's what they were unloading yesterday, that very car. Now to me, even just to be able to sit in one of those, that's not what I'm driving, that's not what this video is about. I'm driving a Ferrari, but not that Ferrari, so stay tuned to watch that. I've never driven a Ferrari, so I'm really, really excited for that. But to sit in a LaFerrari, she was saying that when they were getting off the truck, I don't know if I can say this, but like they were all like really, really anxious, which it will be because it's like a £2.5 million car. But yeah, really, really excited for that. It's something which Laura has worked her absolute off to do. I think it's one of her last proper events that she's doing as well before she leaves, so hopefully it's going to go really well. I'm sure it will. But for now, I'm going to enjoy these country roads in this car, and I'm going to try and compare it because the Ferrari that I'm driving is probably more comparable to the DB11, but it is a little bit of a grand. I bet it doesn't sound this good. I really bet it doesn't. It is more of a GT, more a Grand Tourer. The boot space is alright. No, James. No. Absolutely not. No. Guys, stay tuned. There in a second, and I will reveal all. There she is. So guys, just got here, coffee in hand, finally. Variants. That's the key of the day, key word of the day. Look at all these different cars. We're parked in the middle of two rather different motors. You will see that the LaFerrari is round there somewhere. I'll get a close look at that later. You can't see it for that AMG. This thing looks so good clean, doesn't it? So good. We have Porsches, we have Bentleys, we have Ferraris, we have Aston Martins, we have everything. And that could be something to look at eventually, a bit of a family car. They're absolute class. When I drove that on the channel, it was ridiculously fast. And this is what we've come to see today. We've come to see the Ferrari Rover. Like I said, I've never driven a Ferrari in my life. Not sure which one we're going to drive, but I must admit, one big issue with these cars, with these Ferraris. Guys, get in the comments below, what do you think it is? Laura's done such a good job organising today as well. Well done. And back to the Rover before we do driving it. I think it almost looks a little bit Vantage-esque, or a little bit F-Type-esque maybe. It's got more presence, it is definitely bigger, but it's a V8 engine, guys. It's 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. And like I said earlier, it's pretty much a Grand Tourer. I'm really interested to see how big the boot is. I'm not sure we'll get golf clubs in there unless you kind of squeeze them in like I do in the Vantage. And there's one big thing on here which Ferrari have never really done. I'm going to talk to you about it when we drive it, and it almost shows exactly why Ferrari are changing the guard, moving to a new era, which I quite like actually, more for more people, quite as exclusive. Not sure they want me to say that, but anyway, really looking forward to getting this. This looks like a rather special place to be fair. I feel like I could spend a lot of time in there. I really like all this. This is like new, isn't it?
Yeah, so basically the whole dashboard is new. This is only on SF90 and Roma.
Yeah.
And the other cars that are coming after these two cars will have that and the new steering wheel. So that steering wheel was first shown on SF90, then it came to this.
Yeah.
And that again will be on the others. Slightly different on SF90 because you've got obviously your hybrid modes on the car as well.
Display as well, which is cool.
Passenger display panel. So
Plus they can actually activate that as well.
Not very good if you've got a bad passenger. So,
yeah.
Or
if Laura was in.
Yeah, if the wife's in the car. But again, it allows the passengers to get a bit more involved with the experience. So you can do the seat controls here, ventilated seats as well. You can do audio, look at the performance figures, things like that with the car, radio, volume, things like that. And switch it off as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a nice little
lovely
little
touch. Must admit, it is an absolutely glorious place to be. Right, turn it on.
There we go.
I must admit, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's like being on an Xbox or a PlayStation or something.
It's good, it is. Used to go through a gate, so
yeah,
over like that with the gear stick, so they brought that back. You got reverse, manual, automatic launch control.
There's some really nice touches to like the Ferraris of old and the Ferraris of new, isn't there? Yeah. It's like a nice mashup.
It is, and then obviously this is pretty straightforward audio, phone, navigation, climate.
That's a nice smooth getaway. I drove one of those DBSs the other week. They're ridiculous, aren't they? Have you driven one?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Saying that behind the wheel of a Ferrari Rover, aren't they?
A little bit different.
Yeah. That sounds lovely. Very different sound to mine.
Yeah. So V8, no baffles in the back of the exhaust. Control the sound from the front.
Yeah.
Which is a bit different. Again, we do that with the 812. So unlike probably with most cars that have got like a transmission similar to this, Ferrari will roll back like a normal car.
It scared me then.
Yeah.
I was like rolling back.
Nasters don't do it, do they?
No.
So go. That's it. Yeah. See next left. So that's because it's more of a manual gearbox than what you find in like with the gearbox in your car. Probably a ZF box, which Audi use.
Yeah.
You know, lots of different manufacturers use it, and then they put their own software on it.
Yeah.
With this, it's a different take on it. It's a Ferrari's different take on that, if you like.
Yeah. But it feels like even when when I was pulling away for the first time, you got to properly accelerate just to move, haven't you?
Yeah.
Gearbox is really responsive as well.
And again, try it with sport mode in a minute.
What size is that? Orange?
Orange is race.
Like amber.
That's it. Yeah, so this is it's an interesting car, the Roma. You know, it's
I put it down to because I like watch and read about everything, and for me it's almost like changing the ethos of Ferrari.
Yeah.
Even down to the rear wing. It's never been done before. Like you've had the full wings on the F40, the F30, but never. Or F50 should I say, but never never an actual retractable wing.
Yeah.
And what I like about it as well is you can't put it up to look showy.
Yeah,
it goes up and it goes where it needs to be up. And then when it's down, you can't even tell it's down.
It is very well hidden, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't believe how much bigger it feels than my Vantage though.
Does it feel bigger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it looks very similar on the outside.
Yeah, they do. When you put, a lot of people say that, then when you park them together, you really notice like the differences in the cars. Whereas I guess the actual, like, you know, the shape of it's similar, but then when you got both side by side, it's amazing like how different they are.
One thing I'd say about this is it's different level inside. Like it's probably 3 or 4 levels above inside.
Right.
I mean, saying that, like a Volkswagen Golf's a level up inside than mine, but this is like next. This is probably as good as it gets, isn't it? That's very similar to like the Lamborghini stuff now, I think.
Yeah, they've tried really well. They've concentrated really a lot on the interiors of the cars, and for instance, the dashboard and everything like that. Because we had such an analog design for such a long time.
Yeah. Gearbox is so responsive.
And again, when you go through the different modes, like you're in race mode, again, the feeling is different again. And a lot of the feeling is down to where you are and how you apply the throttle.
So if it's similar to mine, I find that when mine's in the called standard mode, sport mode, when it's in street mode, it's like it's okay, it's a little bit lethargic around corners and stuff, but as soon as you put it in Sport Plus
Yeah.
or in Track, totally different car.
Yeah.
Like sounds different, burps and farts, and
This doesn't change the volume
No.
too much with this car. Where we stick it up a mode on the Manatino.
Sport.
Yeah. I'm just keeping an eye on where we're going.
Okay. That absolutely sticks to the round.
Yeah, it's a very good kit.
Right, I've turned us back on because we've found a rather exceptional road. It is. I love my car, but this is the next level. I know it's next level price wise as well, but especially since we're putting sport mode, it's like a totally different car. There's one problem with these though. Do you know what it is?
Go on.
These two in particular that you've got.
Go on.
What do you reckon the colour is?
No.
They're not red.
Not red. Well, it's
Do you find that when people buy the first Ferrari, they buy red and then they go something different?
usually when I first started working for Ferrari, which is probably now 30 or 14 years ago,
Yeah.
most cars on an event were red. It'd be red, it'd be red, yellow or black.
Yeah.
Now we go to events and sometimes we don't even have a red car out of 10 cars.
Yeah.
So it's it obviously it's lovely, to have the Ferrari red, but there are now lots of different reds as well.
Yeah.
So you've got F1 2007, which is the same colour as the championship winning F1 car was in 2007. We've got Floco red, Fire red,
Scuderia red is that one?
Scuderia red, yeah, which is
Is that resale red?
really orange now.
Yeah.
Like Rosso Corsa.
Is it? That's the one, yeah.
You've got Rosso Maranello. You've got all sorts of different reds now. It's probably about 8 reds. Maybe
Yeah.
we give and take a couple.
So we are nearing the end of the Roma test drive, and I'm really sorry guys that I've not actually spoken too much about it. My plan was to like go through all the specs and whatever. We did that a little bit at the start, but I've just really enjoyed it. I wanted to concentrate and enjoy it as much as I could, and it's been such a, as soon as we've taken it into sport and track, but then you go into a 30 and I can take it down back into that normal mode, comfort, and it's like you're in E-class again or something. It's mental. He's done well to keep up with us behind there, Well, mate, I've really enjoyed that.
You drove it well. It's good. Got a bit of.
Did you hear that? Drove it well.
You
Drove it
explored a little bit of the potential.
Yep. Now I just need to go and work a little bit harder and talk to Laura. That's the main thing, really. She's here, look now.
Just keeping an eye on you.
Just how do I put the window down? Just tell her we're having one. I think we're going to have it. What do you think?
No.
I've driven it well. James said I've driven it well.
Suits
Yeah.
your driving style.
James and James.
It's nice inside, isn't it?
He's on his way, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
He's parked a bit close now.
Right behind.
Yeah. That rollback feature, I was shitting myself. Where do you want it?
So they're not giving us much room here, have they?
No.
Big jam brake on. Puts it back into park.
Easy as that.
It's really simple.
Brilliant.
I can't remember having to use
No.
jam brake ever.
Thank you. Really enjoyed that.
No problem at all.
Guys, that was a drive in a Ferrari Roma, and I'm a little bit lost for words, really. So I think I'll go and have a coffee and then.
Let's speak to the salesman.
So, guys, in all seriousness, I wish I could have shown you more about this kind of driving zone because it's such an amazing place to be. Really, really enjoyed it. Carbon absolutely everywhere, even the shifters. Oh yeah, it's this to get out. Look, this is what he said. You ready for this? He's locked me in. Sorry.